Hi, this is Lori from happybirdsglitternest.blogspot.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make these super easy little ornaments for your tree, little gingerbread man and gingerbread girl. And these were super easy to put together, and I have to tell you that this was not the tutorial that I planned for today. A couple of days ago, I started to record something entirely different, and I got about 3/4 of the way through, and then I discovered that my daughter-in-law's kitty got into my craft supplies, and she had herself a ball, and I could not find one of the main components that I used to finish that tutorial. We looked high and low, under beds, under dressers, everywhere, and I still have not been able to find it. So I had to reorder that particular component that I used, and hopefully I'll get it in about a week or two so I can finish up the last part of that tutorial, because I think you'll really love it. But anyway, with that said, I hope you enjoy this video too. These were extremely easy to put together, and I give you options too if you don't have certain things to use. So don't be discouraged looking at these thinking, oh, I need a cuddle bug, or I need a Gemini in order to finish this or to do this. Absolutely not. And this was very easy to put together. So with that said, we'll go ahead and get started, and I'll stop my yakking. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need is a piece of 12 by 12 scrapbook paper, and I already cut mine into 2-inch strips. You can make 3 4-inch ornaments out of one piece of 12 by 12 paper. So you can cut them any width you'd like. Just keep in mind that just double the width and it will tell you how large your rosette will be. For example, if you cut these into 1-inch strips, then your rosette will be 2 inches. If you cut these into 2-inch strips like I did today, your rosette will be 4 inches. So just double it, okay? Now I chose some open stock paper from Hobby Lobby. I liked the shine, and I thought it would give it some extra sparkle. You can use cardstock or you can use regular paper, but I will tell you though that the heavier the cardstock is, your fingers will probably get sore after a while. So I just used this cardstock here. I think it's probably 65 pound, I'm sure. So that's not very heavy duty. Okay, I'm using my Score Buddy. I love this little Score Buddy. In fact, I find myself pulling this out more than I do my large one. And I got this off Amazon a couple of years ago, but they still have it. I can give you a link to it on my blog. It's about $17, but I love it because, and I'll show you why in just a moment. You see how all the little fractions are listed for you right here? I love that because then I don't have to sit there and try to figure things out with my eyes. Okay, so I'm going to pull this back a little bit. Okay. So, for each rosette, you're going to need 2 strips of paper, okay? And once again, these are 2 inches in width, so this is 12 inches by 2 inches, okay? All right, I'm going to set them, this one here, right here. I'm going to do it upside down because it's easier to see the score marks than over the print, okay? Let me tilt this to the side. And I'm going to score this every 1/2 inch. So it's 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1.5 inches, 2 inches, 2.5 inches, 3 inches, 3.5 inches, 4 inches, 4.5, 5, 5.5, 6, 6.5. Okay, so now you're down at the end, so I'm just going to flip this down this end and just continue with my score marks until it meets me right here. Oops, sorry. Okay, here we go. 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1.5, 2 inch, 2.5, 3 inch, 3.5, 4 inch, 4.5, and 5 inch. Okay, so I hope you can see this all the way down like that. So I'm going to do the exact same thing with the second one. I'll do this off camera and then I'll come back. Okay, so we have this completed. So you're going to take your first strip and on the printed side up, okay, you're going to go right here to the end and you're going to fold the first one downwards like this. That's important, okay? Make sure it's folded downwards. And then you're going to start your fan folding right on those score lines. And you're just going to do this until you're all the way to the end, okay? And one thing I learned is it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. I mean, you can see I'm fan folding, but it's not going to be completely even, but it still turns out really pretty, I think. You just do the best you can, you know. They do have dies out where you can, where the lines are already scored for you, but I know that not everybody has a cuddle bug or something of that nature to help them do this, so that's why I'm showing you how to do this by hand. And it does come out really pretty. And I know you can do this because, like I said before, if I can do this with my old lady hands and my old lady eyes, you can certainly do this. Okay, now see how nice that turns out? Okay. Now, for this piece, on the first piece, remember how we went down like this on our first fold? Well, we're going to do the opposite here. We're going to go up like that, okay? And then, of course, you're just going to continue to fan fold. Now, I'm going to do this fan folding here off camera so I don't bore you to death, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now we have this fan folded, okay? Now, as you can see, we have these flaps that we did on the first one going out, and then these, or downwards I should say, and then we have the second one where the ends are going upwards. Okay, so we're going to take the second one that we did with the ends going upwards, okay? And I'm going to turn it around because I'm going to put a piece of tape right here at the end, and then another piece of tape here. And I got this tape from the Dollar Tree, and it's really good tape. So let's see if I can find the start of it. There we go. So I'm going to cut roughly 2 inches, and if I need to trim it, that's okay. And I'm going to put that tape right here at the end. And boy, this is some sticky tape. This really works. Oops. Okay. Let me cut this end part off. Cut it a little more. I can see. There we go. I think that's good enough. Maybe a little more. Okay. Alrighty. Then I'm going to do the same thing on this end. Right here. Cut this off at the end. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to peel that white paper off the tape. Get a little start. You know what? I think I can use my fingers better than that. Yep, I can. Okay. There we go. Alright. So now we have our 2 pieces of sticky tape at the end. Alright. So now we're going to take our second piece that we did. And I'm not going to lay this down on the tape yet. I'm going to kind of hover to make sure I have it right. Okay, that's pretty good. So now I'm going to just press it. Okay. Looks nice. So now I'm going to stand this up. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to kind of hover until I feel it's right. And then I'm going to press it down. Alright, so now we have what looks like this. Okay, now watch this. I'm going to pick this up and I'm going to push the sides in and lay it down, and look how easily that does that. And you push it in, and there we go. Now, I have seen some crafters use lids, and they'll put this in a lid to kind of keep it held for them like this while they work on the middle. Okay, but I don't have any lids right now that fit this. Okay, so you're going to take the plain 2-inch cardstock circle, and you're going to have to work fairly quickly. I'm going to be putting some hot glue here in the middle, like this, and then I'm going to push this as tightly as I can, like this, to make a small circle in the middle, and then I'm going to put this on top, and you're going to have to hold it like this until it dries. Okay, you want to make sure that's dried, and then we'll flip it over You don't want to feel any warmth through here. Okay, so that might take a few seconds. So I'll be back. Okay, so I could tell it was cooling when I touched the top and the heat. I didn't feel any more heat. So I let go of it. So now on your, with your second circle, I don't know if I told you or not, but I used Fabri-Tac. I just put some Fabri-Tac down here with some gold beading thread. Okay, it's not the stretchy kind of beading thread. It's just the regular thread. And flip this over, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to put some hot glue and just stick it on there. I won't have to hold the back though, because the front part here is already holding that. Okay, so let's get some hot glue. And I'm going to set this right here in the middle. I'm a little off kilter, aren't I? There we go. Alright. And like that. Okay. So we're going to cover the front part up. So if it's slightly off, not too much, but if it's slightly off, I'm not going to worry about it, and I'll show you why in a moment. I'm talking about the circle being directly in the middle. I try to put it in the middle, but if you're off just a hair, don't worry too much about it. You will be covering that. Now, I'm going to show you different options because I do realize that not all of you have cuddle bugs or Geminis, you know, so I'm going to start by showing you what I made with my cuddle bug. I bought these beautiful frames that cut just like butter through In Love Arts. I think that's what it's called. A while back I bought these, maybe about a year ago, and they work beautifully. And so what I did was I used the Silly Winks Fun Foam, or Craft Foam sometimes it's called, and I love this brand from Hobby Lobby because it's wafer thin, as you can tell. Look how thin that is. So you can cut this very easily, and the shedding, I don't have a problem with the shedding. And I have purchased some craft foam that was just awful. There was so much shedding, I didn't want to use it, and I didn't want to give it to anybody else because it made such a mess, but this is wonderful. So I got the white because I think the white will really make what I put on top of this pop. Okay, now you cannot use hot glue with this because of course if you try to put hot glue on this it'll melt. Alright, now if you don't have like I said, a cuddle bug or Gemini or something like that, you can purchase these little doilies from Temu, and I bought these dirt cheap from them, and I will put a link on my blog. And these are approximately, let's see, about 3.5 inches. Okay, this is about 3 1/4 inches. So if you're making a 4-inch ornament like I am, you want the background here to be about anywhere between 3 1/4 and 3 1/2, and that'll fit very nicely. So see, you can take a little bit of Fabri-Tac and glue it on the middle, in the middle, like that. Okay. You can also use snowflakes. Okay, now this one's 3 inch, so it's a little too small. You want one that's about 3 1/4 to 3 1/2 inches. Okay. Now, if you're going to use the snowflake, you're going to want to make your circle punch probably a little smaller, maybe a 1 inch. Okay. So that way you can be sure that whatever you put on top, it'll cover it. Okay? So let's see. Is that all I had? Yeah. Alright. So I'll stop my yakking and I'll glue this on. I get sidetracked sometimes. I start talking about other things. And I'm going to put some of this fabric tack on. Remember, no hot glue. Not on fun foam or craft foam. Okay, so we're going to put this right over that. Okay, make sure it's in the middle. Let's see. Let's see. I think this looks good. I think. Alright. So here is the cord, so we're going to make sure that is straight above like this, okay? Because we're going to be gluing elements down. Now, I really think these little packages here from Hobby Lobby are so cute. Right now they're half off all of their Christmas craft items. As you can see, I already used one element in here. You get 4 gingerbread men and they had penguins, felt Santa faces. I thought they were really cute anyway, and at a good price, because like I said, this is half off, okay? And so that's what we're using. Today, I'm going to take the little gingerbread girl out. I'm going to set this aside, because if you don't have a Hobby Lobby next to you, you can use other things. These are cupcake picks here, and I just twisted the toothpick out of these. You can use these. I would give this a little 3D effect by using the foam mounting tape, because you want this to be up a little bit, you know, and you might want to put Santa in the middle. This is just an example, okay? But like I said, you want to use the foam mounting tape where this is raised a little bit. You can add little snowflakes, anything you want, okay? So that's just one little example. Now, these are really well made. I love these. And they have little sticker type stuff on the back. So, and it's very strong, very tacky. But even though it's very tacky, I still like to put a little bit of fabric tack on it, just to make sure I hold it, or it holds it. Okay. You don't want to put hot glue in the back of this because of the fun foam here. So I'm going to make sure that it's nice and even. And I didn't put foam mounting tape on this. I didn't think it needed it because it's already got kind of a 3D effect. Okay, so you can see that it's hanging from here, and I don't want it to tilt forward like this when you're hanging it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put just a tiny amount of fabric tack, and I'm going to place the cord right here. Okay, let's see if I can do that. Alright, gotta make sure I put it in the fabric tack in the right area here. Right, I think it's right here. No, it's here. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to put a little dab right here at the bottom. Okay, at the bottom part. And then on this side too, at the bottom part. And then I'm going to push this in here. Alright. Now I'm going to let this dry. Alright, and then we'll be back. Okay, so I found a little teeny tiny red flower here that I glued with Fabri-Tac right in the middle of her bow, and I thought it might be pretty to add a little more 3D effect by taking these red hearts and gluing them right over the glittered hearts. So that's what I'm going to do. Let me get my Fabri-Tac. And these are some red hearts that I purchased a while back from Dollar Tree, and they have them right now. I saw them in the sticker section. Okay, so now let's get the other one. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to let that dry, and I punched out some little snowflakes with my snowflake punch, and I'll show you how I did that in a moment. And then I just glued some more little Dollar Tree rhinestones in the center, and I used the Silly Winks brand Fun Foam. And like this. You get 12 by 18 inch sheets at Hobby Lobby. And these were the ones that are wafer thin that I was telling you about. And this is what I do. I have a Martha Stewart punch here. Let me turn this around so I can show you. I'm sorry. You know what? Let me do that over because I want you to see. Okay. I don't know why I had it the other direction. Good grief. Okay. Alright. You see this? I punch. I open. I pull the paper away. And then I push it again just to help me get it out. And there we go. We have a nice little snowflake. Okay? So I kind of fiddled around with these, and I think what I'm going to do is put maybe put the green one here and the red one up here, but kind of layering them, I guess you'd say, like that. You have to, yeah, just to where I think it kind of looks good, or the way I like it. Okay, so I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac to glue those down, and then we'll be back. Okay, so I started to use Fabri-Tac to glue this on, the snowflakes, but I decided that I wanted to use foam mounting tape instead. I could have used the little pop dots from the Dollar Tree, but I decided against it because they were a little too thick, I thought. So instead I used this super glue foam mounting tape from Dollar Tree that you can find in the hardware section, and it's a little thinner, so I cut two little teeny weeny squares and put them behind each one, and I think it turned out perfect. And as you can see, this hangs beautifully, and let me turn it to the side. There's no leaning forward or leaning backwards. It just turned out beautiful. So I am happy with this, and I do have a matching gingerbread man to go with the gingerbread girl, and I'll show that to you right now. Okay, so here they are together, and as you can see, I went ahead and glued two little buttons over the gingerbread man's glittered buttons, and I think they turned out really cute, and I hope you give this a try. And thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I will see you next Friday. You take care, and God bless you. Bye-bye.